you for joining us for this look at some of the best stories from KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Coming up, the cost of recycling. KPBS investigates how the state is reallocating money from unclaimed bottle refunds. A new shelter opens in the South Bay. See the space now available for those experiencing homelessness in National City. And does social media need a warning label? We get insight from a local public health leader on an idea gaining traction at the federal level. And we start in North County, where a proposal to reroute train tracks away from the bluffs in Del Mar is getting some pushback. Much of it comes from its neighbor, Solana Beach. Tanya Thorne has the story from a public workshop about the railroad plans.
Researchers with Sandag say the Del Mar bluffs erode by an average of 6 inches every year, creeping closer and closer to the tracks. For years, Sandag has explored many options of relocating and tunneling that portion of the rail line, options that until recently seemed to mostly impact the city of Del Mar. Sandag is giving the community more information on the 3 possible routes for the relocation of the Del Mar rail line. And one of those routes runs along the I-5 freeway. And that route starts right here at the Solana Beach train station. And some Solana Beach residents aren't too happy. They feel blindsided, not knowing that there could be a tunnel running under their city. In the past, Sandag's community meetings have mostly been filled with Del Mar residents. But the one held Tuesday evening had a large turnout from the city of Solana Beach.
And I realized that one of the alternatives would go right through Solana Beach and would impact quite a bit of the life that we live and the centers where we shop, the rails to trails where we walk and run.
This was Donna Glenn's first time at a Sandag meeting. She says she was disappointed the agency didn't do more outreach with the city of Solana Beach.
So I don't want Del Mar to be impacted negatively. It's not a them and us situation. I hope that maybe we can get more information in Solana Beach so that we can understand the process and be heard.
Solana Beach Mayor Lisa Huebner was also at the meeting.
We had not been notified about this. We found this out a couple of weeks ago. Our community has not been engaged at all. Our businesses have not been engaged, nor has NCTD, the transit operators, nor has the fairgrounds. So we really need to have a lot more engagement and find an alternative that works for Del Mar, Solana Beach, and the region.
She says the route that starts in Solana Beach and runs along the I-5 freeway costs the most and would take the longest to build.
Alignment A doesn't pass the common sense test. It's extremely expensive. It's twice as much as any of the others. It also destroys a lot of infrastructure that the region already invested in.
Sandag is still collecting feedback from the community that could change the routes. Leif Genzer with the public transit advocacy group Right SD says it's interesting how pushback has shifted from city to city.
Now, the Del Mar residents are now really quiet. Now it's not going through their city when they had the arguments before saying something like, well, it's not the right decision or it's not the right track. And now suddenly it is correct only because it doesn't go through their city. And now Solana Beach is acting up.
Whatever the choice, he thinks it should include 3 things.
What we care about is making the train fast, making it reliable, and making it electrified.
The public has until July 19th to submit their feedback on the project to Sandag, online or by mail. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
This next story is a KPBS investigation and one of our most popular stories this week. Recycling centers have been shutting down across California for years, and that means fewer opportunities for people to recycle their bottles and cans and get back their deposits. Scott Roth found the state is sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars in unclaimed bottle deposits, and for years has used that money to plug holes in the budget.
The yard at SA Recycling in Barrio Logan is filled with old transformers, rusty refrigerators, and banged-up cars. General Manager Sergio Perez says all of it will be recycled into new products.
I like it because every single day is different. You don't know what you're going to receive. Maybe you're going to receive a lot of aluminum. Maybe you're going to receive a lot of copper tomorrow.
What they don't get much of these days are bottles and cans. That's because SA Recycling stopped participating in the state's bottle return program last year. It wasn't very profitable to begin with, and then neighbors started complaining.
We started having some kind of problems with, with homeless and, a lot of trash outside. We try to work with the city, but it is not working.
Recycling centers around the state have been feeling these financial and social pressures for years. Over the last decade, the state lost half of its bottle recycling centers, from big industrial operators to small vendors next to grocery stores. In San Diego County, the decline has been even more dramatic, and that means
people are sending these containers to the landfill instead of recycling them.
Susan Collins is president of the California-based Container Recycling Institute. She says that's alarming from an environmental perspective, but there's also a financial impact. Here's how California's recycling system works. When you go to the store to, say, buy a soda,
you pay for the can of soda plus you pay another 5 cents.
That nickel, or dime, if it's a larger bottle, is a deposit that the state holds onto. When the container is brought to a recycler, the deposit is returned.
That creates an incentive to recycle, and it's a really powerful incentive that gets people to bring back containers.
And for some, bottle returns provide much-needed income. But as recycling centers have closed, the recycling rate has also dropped. So what happens to all those unclaimed deposits? Well, they sit in a state fund that, in recent years, has grown and grown. As of last year, the fund had ballooned to nearly $820 million. Collins says this is a problem.
The excess growth in the fund is the result of a program that isn't serving consumers as well as it should be, which turns their deposit effectively into a tax.
And it's become a piggy bank for state leaders when the budget is tight. A KPBS review of state financial records found California has borrowed billions of dollars from the fund in the form of short and long-term loans.
Yeah, it's like an unofficial rainy day fund.
The state controller's office and the Department of Finance told KPBS the borrowing is allowed under state law, but it can take years to repay the loans, and at times that's put a strain on the recycling fund. The practice has got some recent scrutiny from lawmakers. Here's Senator Ben Allen of Santa Monica at a committee hearing in February.
If we're going to do this, we have to be very clear about the integrity of this fund.
He was concerned about a proposed $125 million loan meant to help close the budget deficit.
This was money that was explicitly, collected from consumers, for the purpose of improving our recycling rates.
Last month, the proposed loan was nixed from the governor's budget. Cal Recycle is the state department that oversees the Bottle Deposit Fund. They declined multiple interview requests. In an email, a spokesperson said the department is using money from the fund to improve the state's recycling system. But advocates say it's not enough.
We should be investing in the recycling infrastructure. We know how to make it work.
Mark Murray is executive director of Californians Against Waste. He says a subsidy of $2,500 a month would help keep small recycling centers afloat.
For that small investment over the next 3 to 5 years, we could have the 400 to 500 community-based recycling centers we need.
State leaders are now hashing out the final details of the budget. Murray and other advocates say they're calling for millions of dollars in recycling investments to ensure consumers get back their nickels and dimes. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.
And that is an example of a detailed feature reporting done by the KPBS newsroom. You can find more at the KPBS YouTube page. It's also where we live stream KPBS Evening Edition weeknights at 5. In our continuing coverage of changes to the U.S. asylum system, KPBS reporter Gustavo Solis profiles a family of Cuban asylum seekers. And their story illustrates how migrants with newborn children face unexpected obstacles.
Little Matias is no ordinary baby. His parents are Cuban migrants, and he was born in Tijuana on June 11th, just 1 week before his family was scheduled to enter the U.S. to pursue political asylum.
Ya tenía vigilancias que me estaban chequeando por parte del gobierno.
His father, Giovanni, is a Pentecostal pastor. He often criticized Cuba's communist dictatorship. In late 2023, he began noticing strange men attending his services.
Siempre había alguien del gobierno escuchando y espiando lo que yo hablaba.
He says those men were government spies. Giovanni, his wife Magalis, and their 2 teenage children fled Cuba in October 2023. Magalis didn't find out she was pregnant until a few months later. By then, the family was already in Mexico, heading towards Tijuana. Her due date was in June. Plenty of time to get into the U.S., or so they thought. Their plan was simple. Download the U.S. Customs and Border Protection's CBP One app on their smartphone, then fill out an application and schedule an appointment to enter the U.S. The Biden administration unveiled the app last year, and it is now the main way to access the U.S. asylum system. But it's been glitchy.
We are very familiar with all of the problems with CBP One.
That is Melissa Crow, Director of Litigation for the Center for Gender and Refugee Studies.
Including but not limited to the fact that there are a very limited number of appointments that is far lower than the number of people who need them.
The result is long wait times that can be 6, 7, even 8 months or more.
Es como estar en una prisión. Es como estar en una prisión esperando que alguien te vaya y te ponga una fianza.
Giovanni described waiting in Mexico as being in a prison. They couldn't work, and they lived in constant fear that Mexican immigration officials might deport them. It took the family 6 months to get a CBP-1 appointment. And Matias was born just 1 week before they were scheduled to enter the United States.
Era tremendo. Era algo... No sabíamos cómo afrontar eso.
The birth threatened to derail their entire plan. That's because CBP-1 does not let people update their applications. There's no way to add another person, in this case a newborn, to their party. The idea of having to file another application and start the long wait time all over again brought Magalis to tears.
El temor, tanto tiempo que habíamos pasado, tantas cosas, y fue bien duro.
Volunteers at the Tijuana migrant shelter that the family lived in suggested they reach out to Enrique Lucero. He's head of Tijuana's Migrant Affairs Department.
Pero es algo que se está dando muy común, ¿no? Que nazcan aquí antes de obtener su cita.
He says the long wait times are making this scenario more and more common. Lucero told the family to get Matias a birth certificate and Mexican citizenship papers. Fast.
Porque no hay forma de editar la aplicación.
So just 2 days after being born, little Matias was in Tijuana City Hall, getting fingerprinted. His fingerprints left tiny smudges on the official paperwork, and Lucero stood in as the official witness, which is required by Mexican law. Lucero shared Matias's documents with Mexican immigration officials, who then passed them along to Customs and Border Protection. Lucero's intervention worked. On Tuesday, the family crossed into the U.S. together. Giovanni says he looks forward to living in a free country instead of a dictatorship.
Ser libre. Ya no tener que estar en un país donde vivimos una dictadura.
The family won't be in San Diego for long. They plan to connect with relatives in Utah. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.
National City is opening its first homeless shelter. KPBS South Bay reporter Corey Suzuki says the new news marks a major expansion of the services meant to help people experiencing homelessness in South County.
The new shelter is called the South County Lighthouse. It's on Euclid Avenue on the southeast side of the city, and it's run by the nonprofit San Diego Rescue Mission. The Lighthouse will give people food, job training, and a place to sleep for 30 days, and then give them options to move on to somewhere else, like the Rescue Mission's long-term recovery center in downtown San Diego. And even though the organization is a faith-based Christian nonprofit, officials said they won't require anyone to take part in religious activities.
3, 2, 1...
National City's leaders said this project has been several years in the making.
This started happening about 3 or 4 years ago with the previous council, but I was still on the city council.
National City Council member Marcus Bush lives just down the street from the new shelter. When permits for the project came before the City Council in 2021, Bush says he rallied his neighbors to increase support.
You don't really find too many elected leaders that live right next door to a homeless shelter that actually support it, but this is what we need to do because this is a homeless crisis and this is something that is needed in our community and that we need to address.
Welcome to the grand opening of our South County Lighthouse.
Rescue mission officials said the new shelter is funded entirely by private donors and won't rely on any public dollars. But shelter staff will work with National City's outreach caseworkers to admit new clients. Rosie Vasquez is an advocate for the unsheltered community. She says this news is a big deal. Before this, the South Bay had almost nowhere else people could go for emergency housing.
What's great is we're not looking at a pilot program. We're looking at a programming that's already been implemented and that they've been able to find success. I think that's very encouraging for what they're going to do here in the South Bay.
Right now, the South County Lighthouse is accepting up to 75 people. By the end of the year, they hope to be housing more than 160. Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.
Father Joe's Villages offers preschool to the children of parents living at their shelter. KPBS reporter Katie Hyson attended the world's cutest graduation.
The graduates wriggle in 3-foot gowns and caps.
Liberty Lucky!
Liberty started at Father Joe's Therapeutic Child Care Center in diapers, scribbling. Now, almost 4, she's potty trained and starting to trace her own name. Her mom, Amber, cheers her on as she accepts her diploma.
My husband passed away from cancer a few years ago, and they actually did a lot of play therapy sessions because there was some issues with her acting out and asking for her father.
The free childcare let Amber Lucky work on getting sober, graduate from a property management program, get certified as a peer support specialist, and eventually find housing. And it taught Liberty social skills, how to be in a classroom, and confidence.
I don't even know who she is anymore. I'm like, who are you? She's so smart. She's using big words. I mean, within 2 weeks of doing TK readiness, she said something like, "Oh, Mommy, I got an instrument from a toy chest." And I said, "What did you say?" That was a big word, and it just kept coming.
Liberty's favorite part of preschool?
Play with Play-Doh.
Play with Play-Doh.
Oh, that's good. With me and Michael. What the world? Forget the rest one.
Michael's her best friend. He leads the class in a final performance.
We are the world. We are the children.
Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
A Normal Heights nonprofit is helping students turn found objects into art and giving San Diegans a chance to donate and buy secondhand supplies. KPBS reporter Katie Anastas stopped by Art Form's summer camp.
Campers are building mini art galleries inside boxes. Beads become sculptures and vases. Artificial leaves form a lawn. The materials they use are all secondhand, from beads and buttons to paint and pastels. Erin Pinnell founded Art Form more than a decade ago. She says the goal is to make arts education more accessible and eco-friendly.
The impetus was to start an art studio where kids could come on field trips and feel really at home and feel like they had a safe, open space with an abundance of materials and a process that they might find that works for them.
Art Form accepts donations from individuals and businesses. Some get used at summer camps and elementary school classes during the school year. Others are sold at Art Form's store down Adams Avenue. Proceeds from the store help fund classes and community outreach. Liliana Hagen started going to art camp here in first grade. Now, at 19, she's a staff member. She says donated materials give artists the freedom to try out materials they might not have bought themselves.
I know paints are really expensive, canvases are really expensive, oil paints are super expensive, and as someone who's a student, I always want to challenge myself with new projects, and that requires new materials.
The store's inventory of donated fabric, yarn, paper, and other supplies is always changing. Volunteers like Patty Finn help organize.
I love the customers. I have to ask them what they're working on, and we exchange ideas. And everybody goes out of here with a smile. I think it's the only place I've ever worked where people leave because they're so thrilled with what they found for a really good price.
Pinnell says they've diverted 20 tons of reusable materials so far this year. Katie Anastas, KPBS News.
You can get a list of our most popular stories every Friday as a newsletter. You can sign up at kpbs.org. And here is some of what's on this week's list. Diminishing returns. California's unclaimed bottle deposits hit $820 million as recycling centers close. A study says a water transfer deal is raising dust and draining the Salton Sea. And Encinitas will charge businesses fees for outdoor parklets. We'll have that story a little bit later. In California, 73% of parents report higher social media use among their children than in other states, according to a recent Brookings Institution survey. This week, the U.S. Surgeon General advocated for social media platforms to carry warning labels. KPBS health reporter Heidi DeMarco spoke with mental health experts who see it as a positive step forward.
As summer unfolds and young people spend more time on social media, concerns about its impact on mental health are growing. On Monday, U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy called on Congress to require a warning for visitors to social media platforms, similar to those on cigarettes and alcohol. He associated the sites with significant mental health harms for adolescents. While the Surgeon General can't enforce policy, child psychiatrist Dr. Willow Jenkins hopes his announcement can influence public opinion on the issue.
With him taking such a strong stance, it really allows us to have conversations with our children, with our school teachers, with our communities, and how we can support our children with their mental health.
It's unclear how the warnings demanded by Murthy would look and whether they'd be effective, but Jenkins says it's a step in the right direction. Within the last 6 years, screening for social media usage for her patients has become standard.
For every single child that I see, we talk about social media, and it always plays a part in what's going on for them.
A recent Brookings Institution survey found that 71% of Latino parents report heavy social media use among their children aged 10 to 18. 76% say a warning would prompt them to limit their children's use of social media. Jenkins says social media can impact youth of color differently.
Certainly here in San Diego, we have a large proportion of both Black and Latino children, and they certainly are using social media and engaging with it, and so somewhat in different ways.
Jenkins says that while it may help connect them with their community, they can also face higher rates of online bullying than their white peers. Jenkins says that the most impactful changes can begin at home.
We know that there's a lot of information that they be confronted with that they are not developmentally ready for. So I very much encourage families to wait to get their child on social media until at least age 13.
As Congress considers the Surgeon General's recommendations, Jenkins advises parents to talk openly with their children, set screen time limits, and encourage healthy digital habits. Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
Parklets helped restaurants to stay afloat during the pandemic, and years later they've stuck around, becoming a draw for outdoor dining. Now they might become a victim of their own success in one North County city. Alexander Nguyen has reaction from Encinitas.
Downtown Encinitas is bustling with shoppers and restaurant goers this afternoon, and patio seating is a popular option on a sunny afternoon. But these patios that were supposed to be a temporary solution have become a fixture in the city.
People just plain want to be outside.
This is especially true in a beach town like Encinitas. But come August, these restaurants and bars will have to pay a fee to keep these parklets. Approved last week by the Encinitas City Council, businesses will have to pay a fee of $2.50 per square foot for the loss of the parking spaces. Culture Brewing Company owner John Niedenhofer supports the fee.
I certainly would prefer there were no fee, but I'm a realist. If you want something that has value, it should be paid for, and it has value to the city.
He says the parklet has added 60% capacity to his tasting room. Down the street at Cake House Dispensary, General Manager Erica Arroyo says the parklets helped increase sales at her store.
I definitely think it helps foot traffic. People are comfortable with the zones that they kind of sit in. They can come and kind of ease their way into the neighborhood.
The change comes after more than a year of mounting frustration from other businesses over a lack of parking spaces. A couple doors down from Culture Brewing is Encinitas Barbershop. Owner Raul Villamar says business is down 40 to 60% because of the parklets.
We don't have any parking, and my customers keep on complaining. I'm 40% to 50% down on the weekdays, 50 to 60% down on the weekends, because nobody wants to come down here.
There are 27 outdoor dining parklets in the city, taking up 59 public parking spots. The city is looking at options to make these parklets permanent. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
The city has extended the deadline for youth, seniors, and people with disabilities to apply for discounted transit passes. KPBS reporter Katie Anastas has more on who's eligible and how to apply.
The San Diego Metropolitan Transit System is reminding reduced fare recipients to verify their eligibility. Reduced fares are available for people 65 and older, Medicare recipients, people with disabilities, and youth. To keep getting reduced fares, those riders need to verify their eligibility, either online or at the MTS Transit Store or North County Transit District Customer Service Centers. MTS Marketing and Communications Director Mark Olson says they've extended the deadline from June 30th to September 30th.
So the reason that we're going through this process is we launched our new fare collection system called Pronto back in 2021. When that launched, we had a very short timeline to convert, thousands and thousands of accounts from the old Compass system to the new Pronto system. So with that, we were just going on the honor system to allow people to get reduced fares like youth passes and senior passes.
Olson says MTS has already verified more than 18,000 accounts, but they estimate there are still 6,000 seniors and 19,000 youth who still need to be verified. If they don't, their cards will switch to adult passes at the end of September, doubling the cost of a day pass from $3 to $6 and a one-way trip from $1.25 to $2.50. Those looking to apply for or renew a reduced fare account may need to submit a government-issued ID or other verification document. More information is available online at sdmts.org. Katie Anastas, KPBS News.
One way to stay caught up with KPBS News is the San Diego News Now podcast. It's a mix of headline and stories from KPBS reporters. Subscribe and get a new episode every weekday morning. We hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thank you for joining us.